Hi everyone. So this is the first of the resources that we wanted to share with you today on International Yoga Day, and this is the most important part of my practice. This is the one that I'll do by itself in isolation or when I'm going to also do asana practice, which is the movement practice part of yoga. I'll do this practice before that. I also use this to soothe my anxiety, to deal with racing thoughts, to deal with any inflammation or pain in my body, just taking this time to settle in and understand and listen to what my body's needs are. So I invite you to find a comfortable seat. You can choose to sit in a chair, or sit on a mat, maybe sitting on a pillow on a mat as well. And just finding a place for a comfortable seat. If you need a moment to pause the video to find what you need to get comfortable, go ahead and do that, and then come back when you're ready. So I invite you to close your eyes. And if that's uncomfortable, maybe softening the gaze of your eyes, allowing them just to gently drop towards the floor and keeping nothing in their focus. Then I invite you now to notice your mind stream. And then notice your attention to that mind stream. Even noticing the habits of your intention. And without effort or interaction with what you find, begin to notice your current experience. Perhaps you feel distracted, pulled to a to-do list, or ruminating thoughts about earlier today or what's tomorrow. Perhaps you notice agitation, sleepiness, and just gently becoming closer to that mindful state of effortless awareness. Without judging, trying to fix or solve anything that you find. Just becoming aware of your current moment experience. Continuing with your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the parts of your body that are in contact with what you're sitting on. Perhaps you notice the mat or the seat below you on the bottoms of the legs and the sits bones. If you're in a chair, maybe you notice a bit of the low back being supported by the chair. Begin listening from the sensations within the body of what it feels like to be sitting the way you're sitting. Perhaps you notice some feedback that your body's communicating. See if you can become aware of that feedback that your body is sending to the nervous system and to the brain. And begin to shift your awareness from your sits bones to the base of your spine or your sacrum. And so you are looking at the base of your spine from inside the body. And wait here until you feel some subtle vibratory awareness. Perhaps you're noticing that awareness emanating from the sacrum or the base of your spine and returning communication through the nervous system and the brain. And as you feel that, begin to move up your lumbar spine as though you're a mountain climber that's climbing the first 5 vertebrae of the lumbar, going vertebrae by vertebrae. Slowly listening, without worrying if you're able to feel them yet. Just bring your awareness. Trust that the more that you pay attention, the more intimately you can experience each vertebrae. You might be sensing even the curve of the lumbar spine. And as you begin to sense this awareness, begin to shift your awareness up into the thoracic spine. Here there are 12 vertebrae. You might even begin to notice that they're curved in the opposite direction. And as you move up the spine and the thoracic, you might notice and sense your ribs. You might even notice the shoulders that are resting on the ribs. Slowly moving vertebrae by vertebrae, letting go of any sense of judgment for what you can or cannot notice. Just sensing your way through the internal experience of the thoracic spine. And beginning to pay attention to the 7 vertebrae of the cervical spine that moves all the way to the brainstem. Holding your mind's eye and awareness as you move up the cervical spine. And holding in the mind's eye and awareness the spine from the sacrum, the lumbar, through the thoracic and cervical spine. Also begin to bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. And if you find it difficult to keep that awareness of both the spine and the nose, then allow the spine to soften and bring your attention to the nose. Feel the breath as it moves in and out of the nose. The breath that's been going in and out here since your very first breath. And without effort, it will continue to move in and out until your very last breath. Without needing to understand, recognize that the breath is able to control the autonomic nervous system, and that knowing that through breath regulation, we can influence the parasympathetic and the sympathetic regulation of our nervous system. It's such an important part of supporting our experience, managing our anxiety, our racing thoughts, and managing stress. In a moment, I'm going to begin to describe our breath practice today. And while I do that, I invite you to please progressively deepen your inhale and lengthen your exhale. Slowly and gently, just deepening the inhale, breathing into the belly, and slowing down and elongating the exhale. So for this breath, we're going to use a little bit of breath control. Breath work in yoga is called pranayama, and in that we're going to, each time we use a valve to control the breath. And in this breath, we're going to use a valve known as ujjayi, which is a partial constriction of the vocal cords. And for the purpose of relaxation, we're going to keep a langana effect on our practice today, a very soothing part of the practice. And noticing this might not be the right time to use this practice if you're trying to energize our system or increase confidence and build our courage. But for the purpose of this practice, of stopping, taking a break, and checking in with ourselves, we're going to maintain a gentle constriction on the back of the vocal cords. So as I'm describing this, for those of you who know this practice already, feel free to drop into it. And you can follow along when I begin to guide that part of the practice as well. So to begin, what I'd like you to do is, as you exhale, I want to have you feel the awareness of your belly. Below the navel, begin to gently pull that navel towards the solar plexus. Gently and progressively tightening your belly as though you're hugging your spine. As you're inhaling, to maintain that langana effect, that soothing effect, we're going to progressively relax the belly and the abdomen from hugging in from the last exhale, and just gently expand the belly with the breath so that the belly feels full, but not pressing the belly out, rather using the breath to relax the belly as you inhale. So as you exhale, feeling the awareness in your belly below the navel, gently hugging towards the spine. And as you inhale, relaxing the belly and the abdomen. Inhaling fully, let the belly feel full. And continuing that practice. Exhaling, just gently pulling the belly towards the spine. Inhale gently and progressively, expanding the belly in a way of relaxation. So that's the movement of the breath we're going to use for this practice. That gentle hug of the spine, the gentle stretch of the belly. And then as we breathe, we're going to bring a slight constriction just around the vocal cords in the middle of the neck. It can feel like hugging in towards the vocal cords. And it's going to create a little bit of a vibration around your breath as you're moving, a little constriction here. Some people will call this, sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. I know, that's my go-to when I'm listening for. So let's continue that breath with inhale, filling the belly, and exhale, hugging the spine. And do that 2 more times just on your own, and then I'll bring us all together for this ujjayi practice. And wherever you are, let's find our inhale together for about 6 counts. The belly is relaxed. And exhale for about 6 counts as the gentle hugging of the spine with the belly. Inhaling gently, 6 counts. Exhale gently for 6 counts. One more. We'll adapt the next one gently, inhaling for about 6 counts. And hold for 2. And gently exhale 6 counts, hugging the belly towards the spine. Doing that 2 more times. Inhale about count of 6. Hold for 2. And exhale about 6 counts. Adapt gently again, this time inhaling for 6. Hold for 2. Exhale about 8 counts with a 2-second hold at the end of the exhale. Continuing again, inhale belly out for 6. Hold for 2. Exhale 8. Then hold for 2. Continue that breath. Inhale 6. Hold for 2. Exhale 8. Hold for 2. Inhale 6. Hold for 2. Exhale 8. Hold for 2. Beginning a 6 count inhale. We're going to adapt gently this time, holding for 2. And then gently and progressively extend the exhale to about a 10 count. When you're done the exhale, hold for 2. Again, 6 count inhale. Hold for 2. And exhale 10. Hold for 2. Inhale 6. Hold for 2. Exhale 10. Hold for 2. Inhale 6. Again, we're going to gently adapt the practice without judgment, being gentle and progressing. Hold for 2 and see if you can extend that breath to 12 without causing any disruption in your breathing. And this practice is not about judgment, it's about being gentle and progressive as we practice our breath work. So in for 6, hold for 2, exhale 12. Hold for 2. Continue that practice for the next moment or two here, and I'll let you know when it's ready to adapt. And in this cycle, begin to gently relax the practice back to 10 on the exhale, with no hold after the inhale or the exhale. So a count of 6 inhale, exhale 10. And continuing transitioning gently and adaptively to 6 on your inhale and 8 on the exhale. And begin to allow the breath to soften back to its natural rhythm. Without expectation or judgment, take a moment and notice your inner state of mind. Notice the quality of both the mind and the nervous system. This is the gift of a Langana practice, the soothing, gentle nature of our own mind and nervous system. next stage of the practice is to bring your hands to your heart. So whatever that means to you, maybe it's your heart space or over your own physical heart. Continuing to allow your eyes to stay closed. And without looking or trying to find something, just notice if anything feels heavy on your heart. If there's anything that's weighing on you. And with each thing that you notice, imagine yourself gently placing what you noticed aside on the side of your mat or beside you on your seat. If it helps, you can even use your hands as though you're gently placing that thing beside you. And bringing your hand back to heart, listening without engaging anything you find, trying to fix or solve it. Just allowing yourself to put it down for a moment, to release the pressure from your heart space. And perhaps there's something that you don't want to forget or something that's come to mind that's rather important. You might want to write it down on a journal. Or maybe there's trust that it will be there for you when you come back, when you complete this time for yourself. And by continuing that practice, maybe even noticing if there's anything weighing on your shoulders. You might even imagine as though you're taking one pebble or one stone out of a backpack and just placing it on the path beside you. And as though you don't need to carry it in the backpack anymore. Knowing you can come back to this practice at any time if something else shows up. And allowing yourself to place down whatever might be left weighing on your heart or your shoulders, even without acknowledging it in its individuality. And then allowing your hands to relax back down, either to your lap or the floor. With your eyes still closed and nothing weighing on you, begin to listen to your heart's deepest desires. And if you notice judgment or expectation, put that aside the same way as though it's a stone coming out of the backpack, placing it back on the path, and then returning back to listening to your deepest heartfelt desire. And keeping the focus on you, it's something that resonates with you. Begin to form a short phrase, framing this intention of your heart's desire positively and in the present tense. So for example, instead of, I want more self-compassion, you might say, I am self-compassion, or I feel self-compassionate. Instead of, I hope to heal, you might use, I am whole, heal, and healthy. If you're hoping to find love, or work, or peacefulness, perhaps it is, I am loved and love. Perhaps it's, I am peaceful. perhaps it's I am successful. Again, finding an intention that's positive and in the present tense that expresses your heart's deepest desire. Keeping it simple and concise. And if you're still drawing a blank, you might ask yourself, what is it you truly want from this day, from this moment, or maybe for your life? You might consider the things that light you up and make your heart sing. And once you find it, begin to repeat the words with your inner voice, as though you can hear it from within inside you and feel the vibration within the voice. And continue repeating the phrase as it flows with your breath naturally. We'll repeat that phrase 10 times. Allow yourself to let it adapt naturally as it might. Without effort, and finding the ease. And state your intention, either for the practice in the body after this, or for your day. If this is the end of the day, perhaps it's an intention for your sleep and for the rest of the week. And letting it flow within that inner voice. And as you continue repeating this sankalpa, this intention, you get to notice if you can embody your intention. So if your intention was I am healthy, perhaps you're going to embody the feeling of the inner movement in the body, of health and vitality. Maybe that's a current of energy, or the feeling as your heartbeat is felt throughout the whole body. The movement of blood through the body and air. And if your intention was something like, I am compassionate, so you can feel compassion in the body. Notice where you feel compassion for another, perhaps someone you love deeply. And notice how that feels in the body. And then turn that compassion inward. Allow it to be directed at you within the body. Again, not worrying if you feel that or not. And just bringing that awareness. Allowing yourself to experience your experience in this moment as though you're cultivating your intention. And taking as much time as you need here. Perhaps it's longer than the video, and that's okay. And when you feel complete, allowing the phrase to continue to vibrate on its own as though it's naturally moving within you. And return your attention back into your breath. So in the show more below, you'll see a link to a PDF, or perhaps you've already downloaded it, with my favorite practice in my body, that asana practice. So I invite you again to make that practice your own, moving at your own pace. Maybe you don't like the order of the poses, or there's poses you don't want to do. And honoring that, allowing this practice to be uniquely yours, 100% for you, because that is yoga. Happy International Yoga Day.